So a couple of examples that I've seen actually very recently in the last couple of weeks. I had a client reach out saying, hey, the tenant didn't pay rent the month that I closed. So the property manager hadn't come to us with that information, probably because they just didn't know, right, that it happened all right at the 11th hour. And I said, well, did you look at your settlement statement? Because there's always prorated rent on your settlement statement. And he hadn't sent it to me and he hadn't looked at it. And I said, that is where you can see, hey, why isn't there prorated rent on here? Ask the question and find out, wait, the tenant didn't pay rent this month? Like that would have been super helpful to know for everybody, right? And then another one that I've seen really recently is security deposits. Title didn't put them on. It was Title's job to do that. They didn't put it on there. And they've said, okay, well, you just handle it outside of closing. You just figure it out.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun for everybody involved.
A lot of fun.
It's more difficult to go back and fix it after everybody's signed and the deal is closed because it's all money. So money has to trade hands, and there's usually a bank involved too. So you got a buyer, a seller, and a bank. And depending on what's screwed up on the HUD, it could affect one or all three parties to the transaction. Or there's more parties than that, right? Because the realtor commissions are on there. I mean, there's a lot that's on there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm getting it. I just got a check in the mail today for $2 and some odd cents for over collection of taxes for one of my closings. Big money, big money, but they overcharged me. And so they had to send me money back. It almost cost more to mail it to me than the check inside.
Right.
So
exactly.
But yeah, so anyway, the front page of a HUD has all of the big numbers on there. And then there are certain line items on the front page that are broken down on the second page. So there's usually a line that says, something about settlement charges, and it's a big fat number. And in order to know what the big fat number is, you have to go to page 2, where the big fat number is broken down. And it's broken down into all kinds of fees. And, some of the things that I think you need to check, I know Heather's got some other ones too. She was just telling you about a couple, but there's usually a section that is really, really fat. And that is your prepaids. So depending on what your documents say, they could be either under collecting or over collecting on the HUD. What I mean by that is if they're going to impound your taxes and your insurance, and they're supposed to be collecting a year up front, well, then you don't want them collecting a year and a half, and you don't want them collecting 6 months.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're going to be 6 months. You're going to be underfunded for your escrow account. And if it's over that, then you're just giving them your money up front for them to give it back to you after year 1, which is kind of like paying taxes early
ahead of time
and getting a refund, which I'm not a fan of. Why would I want the government to have my money for a little while? I'll just keep it and pay them their share.
Exactly.
So same thing with your mortgage company. Don't give them more money for your escrow account than is required by the documents, right? And your lender should have told you how much that they should be collecting.